We're live, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. How is it going? We are live here tonight. Let me see if I could get this thing. See if I can get it up.
Choose from express options that are ready
We
in
have a
under
commercial.
30 minutes. Easy prep, no mess, oven-ready meals. 10 minutes, easy prep, no mess, oven-ready meals.
I've got it on here too. Let me turn it down. Okay, we are set to go. Y'all, we have been on a roll this week. Welcome to the chat. We'll give it a minute or two and see if anybody pops in. Get some chat going on here, guys. It has been a week. We have been on the road, guys. It was over 600 miles, a little over 600 miles to where we went this week. Hey, Jovita. We left on Friday. No, we left on Thursday. Got stuck in traffic just across the Kentucky line, and we were stuck there for about an hour and a half. We moved. It took us an hour and a half to go 9 miles. So we were not happy campers, and the dogs were not happy. We took all the little mutts with us. And so, guys, it has been a trip. We'll see if anybody else pops in here in a few minutes. So how's it going, Jovita? Good to see you in here. Maybe we'll get some more in here in a minute. Maybe somebody will show up, guys. Not yet, not yet. Okay. Well, let me see. Well, you know what? It has actually cooled off down here a little bit. It's been in the upper 80s, but still the upper 80s is a whole lot better than 100s. So I can imagine how hot it's been for you guys. The humidity here was a little bit better too. And boy, there's a whole lot of difference in the humidity out there in Ohio. The kids were talking about how hot it was, and it was, pretty doggone comfortable for us up there because we were expecting it to be like here because they talked about how hot it was and blah, 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 but the temperature was not. Well, there's Damoose Barbecue. Hey, 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 how are you? Good to see you. There's Horizons and Beyond. Hello, hello. We have been, hey, Wheat, made it in this week. Wheat and I were playing phone tag last week trying to get ourselves on here. She was trying to find us, couldn't find us. Hey, Rita from Kentucky. Hello, Rita. Good to see you. I'm not sure that I've seen you on here before, but I'm glad to have you. We'll take all the new viewers that we can get, guys. We're going to give it a minute or two. I want to tell y'all about our trip. Boy, it was a long trip. A very, very long trip. Yeah, we left here at 9:02. Our goal was to leave at 9 o'clock. So we left 2 minutes after. We were pretty doggone close. On Thursday morning, we got there almost 9 o'clock Thursday night. So it was almost a full 12 hours is how long it took us to go 600 miles. And of course, we stopped and ate, and we made a gas stop, and then we had to make an extra stop with the dogs to go potty. You know how that goes, taking them with us. But we had a great time. The dogs did excellent. We did not know how they were going to do. In fact, Rosie rode in the back seat most of the way coming back. I guess I had it too cool in there with air conditioner, guys. Oh, and by the way, look, Got it fixed. I'm so happy, guys. Yeah, I got it fixed. I was so proud to get it done. Love the new logo, Demoose. Barbecue and Outdoors. Yeah, that's cool. I need to get somebody to help me design one, guys. Y'all have anybody in mind that can give me some ideas or just design one for me? Because I'm not real design worthy. Try to get my granddaughter to do it, but she's just too busy. She stays in the road and off and gone and traveling and everything else. Can't get her to do anything, guys. That's the way it goes. When you get old, they abandon you. It's elder abuse. I'm gonna have to start hollering elder abuse. Oh, Mickey. Where's Mickey? Oh, okay. Hey, how are you? Let's make sure I'm all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, I am. Well, guys, we are trying our best to get this thing going. Got it on here and didn't set up 2 or 3 sites this time. I didn't say Critter Creek. Well, hey, Critter Creek. Mickey at Critter Creek or with Critter Creek. How are you? I'm sorry I missed you. Glad Jovita saw it. We went to Ohio to visit the kids, guys, and we had a really great time. They are moving out of their apartment that they've been leasing now for a year up there, and they're moving into campers. They bought them a 2-story camper, guys. And sooner or later, I'm going to figure out how to share it and let y'all see that little video, hopefully. It was amazing to see. I mean, it's just amazing to see that they can put that much stuff in that small a space, guys. Hey, Des, how are you? And there's Peter. Hey, Peter, how are you? Yeah, we've been trying to get a little bit done around here. We got up there, guys, and we were just absolutely give out. We called the kids. Brandy met us over there. We got the key, and I just told her, I said, we're going to have to talk to y'all later because I am just absolutely give out. So we went to bed. We crashed. And the next morning we got up early, and we hit the Aviation Museum, and it is the largest aviation museum in the United States. And boy, was it amazing, guys. You should see. The picture that I posted at the beginning here is of the missiles that went into space. It has a little bit of everything from back into World War I all the way to the latest, not the very latest ones they've got out, but pretty doggone close to the latest things in aviation that are out there now. We got to tour the presidential planes that have been retired, you know, the ones that the president goes up in, I guess what you call White House One, or I don't know, whatever they call them. But we got to see the one that Kennedy and Roosevelt and Johnson and Nixon. There was a bunch of different ones that the presidents had there. And usually the president will use the same one. There'll be like 3 presidents per plane. So it was really interesting, guys. You got to go inside there. They had glassed it off with like plexiglass panels in there. So it was pretty doggone close. You had to turn sideways in places to get through it. But it was so interesting to see what all you seen on the ones from back in Roosevelt's time. They still had the rotary phones hanging on the wall, you know, and they had bunk beds for the Homeland Security guys that traveled with them, and then they had you seen where the president actually sat, and I mean, it was just so interesting. Had all the ashtrays still in there. You know, you don't get to see ashtrays in planes anymore. Had all that in there. Had it had the little kitchens, the whole 9 yards, all kinds of switches and doodads. I mean, it was just amazing. You know, they've got it now to where they can actually fly in the air, and they can refill the planes in the air. So the president never has to land if it were to get to that, you know. and the president had to abandon the United States or get out of into airspace, you know. Hey, Christy, how are you, dear? I'm glad to see you in here. Yeah. See, I don't think I've missed anybody else. Talk to Mickey at Critter Creek to design a new logo for your channel. Okay, I'll have to try to do that. You know, seems like I sent them a text and I just never heard back from them. So I guess I really just need to say, hey, what can we do here? Help me out, guys, you know. But yeah, we had a fantastic time. We took lots of pictures, got to see all the grandkids. They have not started school yet. Most of the schools around here are up. Had to get the animals up for the night, Christy said. I can imagine, girl. Well, you know, up there, we couldn't just let the animals like we do around here. So we had to walk them every time. So that was a trip. Not sure who all will be going to Pedals. No Danny Days, no Jesse and Lisa, no Jerry and Susan, no Andale, no Gary and Tam. Oh, well, goodness gracious. Is anybody going? Doggone. We may not go either, Des. We may save that money. Oh, Lord. We're going to have to check into it and see who else is going to. Hopefully, there'll be somebody to show up. I don't know. If they don't have a big turnout, they may not do it there next year, you know? But anyway. Oh, yeah, I know you don't get to go to the event because it's all the gravel and you can't get around in your wheelchair. They know that's terrible. They should have some kind of a alleyway or something there that people that are handicapped can get around in. Okay, there will be people there, but just not anyone that we know at the hotel. Okay, well, anyway, hopefully things will get better, guys. We will get in there and meet some more people then. Maybe it'll be some people that we haven't seen before. I have not heard whether I have not checked into Soil Family lately. Bobby and Sherry will be at another hotel. Okay. So they will be there. Use to shop there. I live about an hour from Pedals from the past. Oh, really, Chrissy? That's cool. Hey, Jerry and Susan. I am feeling pretty good. I was just telling them about my trip to Ohio. We went and saw the aviation museum there, and it is absolutely huge. Being a member of the military, my son-in-law went, and of course they had some, you know, some big to-dos there, had all the big wigs dressed up and all just before we went in. But anyway, we waited until all that was out of the way before we got in there and got running around. But they had all kinds, I mean, from, like I said, from World War I to now. It even had the Wright brothers plane that they went up in, you know, there, or one just exactly like it, maybe a complete replica of it or the real one. I'm not sure which, because my kids ran through it so doggone fast that we couldn't read all the little things, guys. I hated that too. I could have spent several days there at the museum to be able to see everything. And it's just amazing the difference in the size of people now, guys. We were looking at the bomber jackets because they had the bomber jackets on display with the different designs that people designed and how much they paid to have those designs done. And it was just unreal. And the people, I mean, they look like smalls. I mean, my granddaughter could have fit, and she's 11, fixing to be 12. No, she's just 11. She could have fit in a couple of those jackets. I mean, seriously, the people were tiny then. Uh, all of them. It was just amazing to me. Mm, mm. Let's see. So I think I've caught up with the comments. Uh, we saw the rockets, that went up into space. Saw how the little heat shields were put on. I mean, it was just amazing what all you could see. You could do the flight simulators there for like $10. I wanted to do that, but of course, nobody wanted to sit around and watch me act fools. So if we go back, I'm definitely going back and I'm going to do a full video. I didn't even have my camera with me, so I couldn't video anything at all. I was so disappointed. Not your people, you're 5'11". Oh, Lordy, honey, or you're tall. I am 5'6.5". Sounds like it was. It was. We had a wonderful time. There is Louis the 14th. Hey, how are you all? I am doing great. How are you, Louis? Glad to have you in here. We did so many things, guys. We rushed. We went to a pizza place that I had never been to before. Hi, Christy. Much love from Holland. Oh, well, great. It is wonderful to see you. I don't think I have anybody else from Holland in here so far. So you're number one in my channel of people that are watching me. Thank you so much. Well, I just stopped by for a few minutes. Have to run out and check on the cattle. Okay, Jerry. Thank you so much for popping in, guys. Y'all be sweet. Be careful out there with those cows, especially this late at night. Take it easy. Look after those puppy dogs. That's right. Much love from Tennessee. I'm from Georgia, by the way. United States of Georgia, Louis. Louis the 14th, guys. Cool. And I'm from Midwest Georgia, guys. So we're just a little country town. It's growing like crazy. We have got 2 Christian colleges here. The one that came into the town of West Point, Georgia, has really made that town grow. Have you ever traveled in the United States, Louis? I've traveled a little bit, and I've been to Holland. It is absolutely beautiful there. Enjoyed it tremendously. I wished I could have spent more time there. I did a couple of those tours where you just drive. We did I can't even think of the name of it, but it's where movies were made. There, I don't even know what the country, to tell you the truth. I've got a million pictures there. Never been to the U.S., but always wanted to. Everybody knows 5 Point. All right, cool. We stayed at a motel there right in Holland, right on the ocean. And I mean, it was a really old motel. Very, very nice older motel. And I mean, the ocean came right up and the waves were crushing up on the rocks. So it was very interesting place. Very beautiful old style stuff inside there. Had an excellent restaurant in the motel there, or hotel, whichever you want to call it. And I had one of my grandkids stayed in the room with me. So we enjoyed it. But I was telling you about, we went to a place there, and I'm not sure what country I was in, because it was the same weekend that we went to Holland, we went to a couple of other places also. But this place had, hey, Jesus is Lord. Hey, girl. Good to see you. I'm glad to have you in here tonight. Yep. They did movies. They did like the Poseidon or something like that. Amsterdam, is that where it was? Yes, I've been to Amsterdam. Absolutely loved it. Beautiful country there also. I would have liked to explore some of the little shops a little more, but had my grandkids with me, so did not get to check everything out there. I would have liked to have looked around more, and saw. Uh, let's see. So, Barbara, where are you exactly? I know you're just right here north of me, aren't you? I can never remember, guys. Glad he was available to help. Good. Okay, they're talking to each other, trying to keep up with the comments, guys. And I, am old and I get crepity, so it's kind of hard. Guys, if you have not noticed, got my tooth fixed. So I'm not walking around all snaggled tooth anymore. Valdosta, okay. Oh, okay. So you're kind of south of me. I have family that live in Lake City, Florida. So, we used to, once you went through Valdosta, you knew you didn't have too much further to go. I was always happy. And, we would go down through Columbus, Georgia, and cut across, go into dang. Albany, Georgia, and hit 75 south, going down right through Valdosta and all. So, plus, the only place you've ever been to is Spain before marriage and children. Went with your sister. Well, I've never been to Spain, but I've been to Italy. I've been to Germany. I've been, Scotland. But like I say, all of them were quick tours. I did not get to stay and actually visit. I did get to see, some highlights there. But wished I had been able to stay like a week or two in each destination that I got to go to, so that I could have enjoyed it and been involved more. I'm from rural parts of the Netherlands and only been to the big city of Amsterdam a couple of times. Well, if we ever get to go again, you just never know. So we did that, guys, and then we went to Trader World, which was not really what we were expecting. We were expecting it to be like a huge yard sale, and they did have yard sale stuff outside, but the inside parts were all like just stuff, not stuff that I would buy personally, but a lot of nerdy stuff. There were a lot of places. Now, I did buy some hand lotion, and it is from, I don't know if you guys can see that. The lady, it's Blackberry Sage hand lotion, honeybee silk. And it is great. And the lady that makes it is a master herbalist. So she really seems to know her stuff. You'd love to see the tulip fields. Yeah, I got to see the windmills. I was more impressed with the people actually are living in the windmills now. The ones that we see and think of as windmills for Holland are actually, people are living in them now. I guess the top parts is still there, but I don't think they have the gears and the guts still in all of them. So I was really interested in that. So, I can imagine, and everywhere you went, it was so green and so pretty, and they don't do a whole lot of poison control and all that kind of stuff. So it was just pretty. Does your channel name have to do with your state's nickname? Yes, it does. And I call it the Rambling Peach because it's just me. sometimes I may be, uh, gardening. I may be traveling, going camping. I may be on vacation just here and there. You just never know what I'm going to be putting out. And so I started it because my grandchildren, my daughter and her husband are military, and they're always traveling around, and I never get to see my grandsons. So I started it so they could kind of keep up with me. And then it just went from there, and I've met a bunch of other YouTubers and just having fun. And I said, when it's no fun anymore, I'll quit doing it. So obviously I'm still having fun. And yes, Barbara, I do know Kinfolk Farms in Georgia. Yeah, they are a super nice couple. And also there is another couple that lives even closer than Kinfolk Farm to me that do YouTube. Doggone it. I know them. I know him and her both from riding horses, but I do not know the name of their channel. I'll have to try to come up with it and let you guys later. It's just not clicking on the top of my head right now. As I say, my mind is about an inch long, and then it's firing on 2 cylinders. It's not hitting on all 4 or 6 or however many it's supposed to have. Anyway, yeah, Kinfolk Farm, they are a super nice family. And boy, do they keep up with the stuff. All their their grapevines and stuff. It's just amazing to me. And yes, we are the peach state. And so that's why I started my channel. And I called it the Rambling Peach because I just had to come up with some kind of name to get started. And I have a lot of animals. I have horse, chickens, turkeys, sheep, goats, quail, rabbits. Have not got the quail and the rabbits right now, but I'm going to be getting back into them. Yeah, Shane he is a sweetheart. His wife's kind of quiet, but you have to get to know him. But he is just crazy. He is a lot of fun to be around. Met them in Tulsa one year. Yep. And so we're talking about Kinfolk Farm, another bunch of us rednecks from down here in Georgia. That's a channel here close to where I live, right up probably less than 40 miles away from me, probably 45, something like that. And the other family is from Greenville, Georgia, that I'm talking about. So, and they do a lot. They do a lot of actually selling their chickens, their eggs, and everything at markets. So, anyway. But guys, we went to that trader place and walked around in there till absolutely my feet were killing me. You know, I don't do that much walking on concrete anymore, and I just had flip-flops on or sandals on, and so it was rough. I'm always so jealous of the Americans with their large swaths of property. It's insane in Europe. Yeah, I have 40 acres here where I live. Well, it's right at 40 acres. And yeah, it's we started out with horses here, and so I've still got the fencing, but the fencing is not good enough to put cattle in. So I said, well, heck, we'll just put some sheep in here and some goats, and had goats to start with. In fact, we were so rural for a long time that I would go out riding my horses, me and the grandkids or girlfriends or, you know, just friends that would go out, and I had like a bunch of horses. People would come over and ride. And I would have a calf that I'd bottle fed. It was a steer. I'd have him follow me, and 3 or 4 goats, and at least 5 or 6 dogs. Not just my dogs. I'd have the neighborhood dogs. They'd all be going along with me. And we even had one little pony, or well, she was a full grown, she was a regular horse, Appaloosa Arab mix horse. And she would come along too because she was a baby. So we were like the circus around here. And then they moved in Kia plants, and, you know, everything growed up around here, and don't dare get in the roads anymore around here because these people will kill you. I mean, they have wrecks all the time because they drive like absolute maniacs. We're retired. I'm retired from Duracell, the battery company, and my husband owned his own business and also worked as a subcontractor for moving heavy machinery in companies, large companies. And so he worked for a company moving large machinery around. So, but I bought my land. It's a long story. I bought the majority of my land. I had some land here, and then I bought the majority of it at public. Well, I bought 9 acres of it at public auction, guys. Just happened to butt up to mine, so I got really lucky there. And the people did not come back and pay the taxes on it or anything, so got stuck with it. So I was glad of that. Tillman, yes, the Tillmans. That's exactly who it was. I was trying to think of it. Yes, Tillman Farms, they're actually not south of me. They're kind of east of me. And not very far, like 20 miles, 25 miles from me. I just know him and her from riding horses back in the day. She did a lot of barrel racing. He did also, but she did a lot of training horses and also barrel racing. And he did a little barrel racing also. So that's why I know them. It's just amazing to me that they have evolved into so much, Why the commercials? I don't know. Obviously, there's some commercials popping up that I don't know anything about. Maybe there's some way for me to stop it. If there is, I don't know how. I will have to just check into it, guys. We hear a lot about you, young graduates, young buyers struggling to buy and rent a home. How is the situation in Georgia? Well, here in Georgia, the prices of homes is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the houses that you used to would buy that cost $100,000 now are $400,000 and $500,000. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, and the taxes of the interest rates are not the greatest right here either. There's Heartland HQ. How are you? I'm assuming this is Tamara. Good to see you in here, hon. Yeah, but rentals. If you're in town, if you have to be close by, it's extremely expensive. If you can get out in the country, so I'm out in what used to be country out here. So it gets a little bit cheaper, but still everything. I mean, just a 2-bedroom apartment is like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, $2,500, something like that a month here, US dollars. So everything is outrageous. If you got any land, there's not going to be any more land made, guys. So a late night for David. Okay. Yes, it's Christy's talking about how hard, it's very hard to find something affordable. A friend of mine was trying to find a place. Hey, Lewis is saying that it's not much difference in Europe. Yeah, the apartments there are a lot more straight up, and there's a lot more stairs there. I guess we're more sprawled out. There are more apartments, but I noticed from the places that I saw, like you'd have your maybe your kitchen and living quarters downstairs, and then you'd have bedrooms or not. There's several staircases or several floors over there. We didn't have that. We don't have too much of that. We usually just have one floor. Maybe upstairs, and that would be it. But our friend that was looking for a place looked everywhere to find a place that he could afford, like for $1,000. And he is not in the best of neighborhoods, but at least he finally found something that's close enough to where he and his wife divorced. And so he wanted to be close enough to where his child could, get off the bus at his house. And so he didn't have a big selection to choose from. Over in Holland, young people, even married, expect to stay home until their mid 30s. Wow. Well, over there, I don't know about there, but I did meet a lot of, I stayed in some hostels while I was over there. Really enjoyed it. I met a lot of young people that were traveling. Here we don't do the sabbaticals or whatever you guys call it, where you go out and travel the world or whatever for so long, and hitchhike across country or whatever. Now, my granddaughter is a little more of that here in the United States. But yeah, she still lives at home when she's home, but she's gone 3/4 of the year. And her mom, most of the time, stays at her fiance's. So they're not married yet, but they're together. You know how that goes. So she stays there more than she stays home. So pretty much Madison just kind of keeps the place up when she's here. Uh, the Great American Mortgage Company is coming. Keep an eye out for it. Oh, we'll see. I think the Great American Mortgage Company, or some mortgage companies, have already come and took over. Yeah, so many people here in the United States lost homes several years ago. Guys, I'm sitting in this hard chair and it's killing me. I don't have no butt at all. uh, Yep, in 2008. That's about when all of that, the banks took over so much here. And people lost their homes, and they're still not getting back on track. We were really lucky. As a child, we were taught, we didn't have anything. We were super, super poor. Um, and lived out in the middle of nowhere. And, so you learn to survive off the land. If not for that, we have guns here also. So, we would hunt for our meat. We hunted for almost all the meat we ate. Uh, and we had pork. A lot of people don't eat pork, but we raised hogs. We raised chickens, quail, pheasant. We hunted for a lot of squirrels. We set rabbit boxes, and we hunted the rabbits around here. And there, being out in the country, there were a lot of land that was nobody hunted around us. Self-sufficient. No, it was not. Back then, it was just normal for us. We didn't have the air conditioning. We had one single light bulb that hung down out of the ceiling, the middle of the room, and you pulled that one chain if you wanted a light. No plug-ins on the walls, that kind of stuff. So, we thought it was great because we didn't know any better. We didn't know what it was like. Even in the schools back then, you didn't have air conditioning. So, it was just normal. We worked in the garden because you didn't get your garden chores done. You didn't play. So, you got out there early in the morning and you hoed those 500 acres. It seemed like, you got out there and you hoed and you worked in the garden and you picked the stuff. And then you sat here and you canned it or picked those beans or shell beans or cut off corn or whatever you had to, and you put it in jars and you canned. That's just the way it is. That's exactly right. It was just the way of life. It's the way things were done back then. And people, my friends, people that I went to school with just couldn't imagine. And we just didn't tell them how poor we were because, we never brought them home. But we didn't have any debt. And so we learned, if you buy something, you pay for it. You don't, I've got credit cards now, but they're paid off at the end of every month. I do not want to be in debt to anybody. And I feel like if I can't pay for it, I don't need to be buying it. The government does not want us to be self-sufficient. I agree with that. Then again, in the city-state that is the Netherlands, we didn't quite have the luxury of growing our own vegetables. I can imagine, a lot of people here that live in apartments will still grow like tomatoes and cucumbers or squash and stuff like that. And instead of having them in flower beds, in a garden space, they will put them in their garden beds and just kind of mix them in so that they're not that noticeable. our country is going more and more wanting everything recorded. You know, they want good for you, Tamara. I'm so proud of y'all. Yep. Yeah, here when even after my grandmother passed away and we moved to this home, which is the place that I bought. I bought the house, and I mean, I bought 20 acres, and then I bought this house, which was my grandmother's house, is the part that I bought that went up on public auction, guys. And so I got this place. But even, you know, when we were kids and we lived out of the smokehouse, you know, where the food was there. And my grandmother put her canned goods, she would wrap them in newspapers and put them in boxes and pack them out there. And you had just boxes of green beans and boxes of butter peas and boxes of black eyed peas and boxes of cut off corn and squash and, you know, all the vegetables that we ate. We had pickles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I think even apartments should have community gardens. Yes, that would be absolutely fantastic. We do have a community garden here in our neighborhood. I don't participate in it that much, only because I wasn't involved with setting it up. Now, I could. There's no spring chicken. I understand that. Yes, I gave away quite a few tomatoes last year because I had so much canned that I just didn't want to have to can anymore. And you know, you just couldn't eat it up fast enough. Let's see. Our cars run great, but if you looked at it missing paint, you just have had it in the shop, spent 1,700. She's good for another year. We've owned it 6 years, paid cash. That's great. That's smart. I'm the same way. I will drive something in the dirt and I don't care how bad it looks as long as it gets me where I want to go. Now, we try to keep them in good running order. And thank God, you know, my husband Joey is very mechanically inclined. So we're real lucky there. He can work on a lot of the stuff. Uh, so I definitely understand that, girl. Just be able to get you from A to B. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, if I were going to do some major traveling and I had an old beater, I would probably rent something, you know, or bum a car from a family member or somebody that I could talk into let me have their better vehicle to go. And you take road trips in it. Good for you. That's the way we do here. I drive my Avalanche is a 2009 model, so it's more than 6 years old. Hey, it's only got 130,000 miles on it, and it's in excellent shape. Drives like a dream, very comfortable, and I'll be driving this thing till it quits running. I'm rolling the wheels off of this sucker. Joey's truck is a 99 model. And I asked him, why didn't he go get him a new truck? And he says, well, I wouldn't want to drop limbs on, scratch my truck up, and the turkey climb up on my truck or the cat get on my truck and scratch it up. So I can understand that. You know, don't blame him at all. He says, I feel comfortable in this one. Oh, Lordy. But anyway, guys, we went on that trip. We came back a lot quicker. Now we left at 8 o'clock up there and got here about just about 5:50, 5:45 last night. And so it was a lot quicker coming back, but we only made one stop to eat. We filled up with gas at the same time. So, and the dogs were sleeping until they acted like they had to go potty. We hit that road and we kept on going. Joey drove until we were into Tennessee, and then I drove from Tennessee on home. So we went through from my house up through Georgia, Tennessee, all the way across Tennessee, Kentucky, and into Ohio. So it was over 600 miles, guys. Full coverage, roadside assistance. Or anything were to happen, we're covered. Don't see anything happening, that's the way to be. Thank God I have roadside assistance too. So, I ran out of gas coming home from the first meetup, not the first meetup, but the second meetup, the first 10 killer meetup that I went to. I knew I was low on gas. And I was going and I kept looking and looking and looking, and there were just no gas stations. And I kept thinking, well, it's got to be. I even got off at several exits and rode, up like 2 or 3 miles up each way trying to find something. Still couldn't find anything. I'm about ready to get a sure-footed Tennessee mule. Oh, good gracious. So you don't have a car there. Oh my God, Christy, how in the world? The distances and the car culture. Yeah, we don't have. In Holland, the local supermarket is average within 1.5 miles. Yeah, here in Georgia or here in the States, you may drive for miles and miles. And you guys have a lot of public transportation. You have the trains and the rails, the electric rails. Here, girl, guys, we have nothing. That's what once when I was out of work and someone told me, so, well, why don't you just get a taxi? I said, it would be $20 for me to get a taxi. And this was 20 something years ago. I said, it would cost me $20 to get a taxi one way from my house to town. That's how far out I am. I cannot even imagine. Here in the United States, we do not have now in big cities, they have, more buses and that kind of stuff. But right here where I am, they do not have it. The painter that painted that car before we bought it from David's old boss, we called him 90 proof for a reason. He painted the car. The paint just started coming off slowly in the last couple of years. Well, you know what? It's washing. It's just fading. That's what's happening there. You could survive with a bicycle. If you were in real good fit shape, I guess you could survive with a bicycle here. But it would be tough. It would be super tough. But guys, do you guys have a lot of tiny houses over there where you are? The tiny house craze has really gotten big here. And I watched quite a few of the tiny house shows of people that are setting them up on farms and all over there, off from Europe and stuff. So it would be interesting to come over and just tour some of people's tiny houses there. I would love to do that. I've thought many times about just buying a couple of lots in town and putting tiny houses on them and renting them out. Because there's so many college kids here, they would love to have something like that would be more affordable for them. You could get it paid for in, a year or two, a few years doing that. And then it would be profit until something broke down. You know how that goes. I tried walking to town one day, went 5 miles, but then got a ride. Holy cow, honey. Chrissy, you're too old and the weather is too unpredictable here in the States for you to be out there walking like that. We have tiny houses for absurd amount of money, but yeah, however, we have social housing rent for most. That's a military thing. Okay. I didn't understand that, but okay. Yeah, we have housing for low income families, but now the government here is tricky. And you've got to just about have children to qualify for any kind of help like that. And not everyone, but the majority of the people that have children just want to ride that system, and they do not want to actually better themselves, to get out there and get a job and try to make things better for them and their family, which is a sad, sad thing in our country. For me to walk to town, I could probably walk to West Point. I'd be better off to try to hitchhike, guys. But I could probably walk to West Point in a couple of hours. To walk to my actual town, LaGrange, it would be, because, see, I'm right on that line of between West Point and LaGrange, so it makes it really rough. Yeah, there you go. Reproduce in exchange for a house. Well, that's about the way some folks look at it, too. Oh, yes. Not always. There are a lot of people that deserve it and need it and want to better themselves and try to get out there and do. But then we have families that just don't care. They'd rather ride around in a brand new $100,000 car and live on government subsidies and in government housing, and let the government control what they do and how they do it, and get foods, what we call food stamps. It's like they're not even stamps anymore. It's used to, years and years ago, they gave you actual stamps, but nowadays we don't get stamps. I think it is more on a card now. It's kind of like the WIC thing that families had back in the day. I don't even know if that's still around, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, Lois, how old you are. Do you have your own channel, by the way? I'm going to try to check you out on there. When I get through, I had to write it down because my brain, like I said, was this much. Your daughter chewed you up hitchhiking. I bet she did. You could hitchhike back when I was in my 20s, and it was, everybody did it. You never thought anything about it, but doggone, you hitchhike now, you just don't know. We got some crazies out there. I saw a t-shirt when I was out there at that Trader World, guys, and the t-shirt said something to the effect of, "We got gun control. Let's have some control for stupidity." I thought it was kind of funny because, there's so many idiots out there, idiot control. Don't really have a channel. I'm nearly 30, so halfway. Oh, gosh, honey, you got long ways to go. 30, you just a child. Oh, my goodness, just a child. I look at 30, I'll tell my husband, I said, "You see this kid?" And he'll be looking, and he'll go, "Where? I don't see it. It's right over there." And he said, "That's a grown man." I said, "It looks like a kid to me." When you're my age, I'm 66. So when you're my age, it looks like Des, you're leaving me, girlfriend. Come on back. I'll be seeing you Friday night, girl. I pop in. I can't stay in yours. You stay on too doggone long. Christy, I'm gonna chew you out for hitchhiking. Back in the 60s, 70s, it was dangerous, but it was a thing. Yeah, that's right. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was a thing. We all did it. Well, I did it. Most of the folks out here in the country where I live, down around Florida, and all did it. But I don't know. I don't know that I would want to hitchhike in big towns. Now, I have a family member that left home in a pair of cut-off blue jean shorts and a tank top and some flip-flops, and she came back home a little over a year later in the same tank top, flip-flops, and cut-off jeans. So she just disappeared and stayed gone for a whole year. She just hitchhiked. I could not have done that. How do you live like that? But she did. Start talking about Jesus and then let you go. Well, you know what? We had a guy that broke out of jail, and the lady I mean, he was in the courthouse and he took somebody hostage, and she talked him into letting her go, and that was how she talked to him about getting saved. It's amazing, guys. So you just never know. You absolutely never know what is good and what isn't. But guys, back in the around here, I have family in Florida and all, so you just didn't think about it. You knew half of the folks in the county, so you didn't think about it. But nowadays, people that kill you are your neighbors. They're your friends, people you go to church with or whatever. It's just unreal, the things that happen around here. I'm getting my 5-minute warning, y'all. Oh, I am Southern Baptist. So I say. That's how I grew up. I do not go to church on an everyday every time the doors open, but I do believe in God. So yeah, I guess I'm still Southern Baptist. Charlie and I are going to call it a night. Hope to see everybody next week. Starting to rain here. Maybe coming your way. I hope it does. Oh, Jovita, you lost your ranch. How did that happen? Let me see. Okay, you're back. How did you lose your ranch, honey? How did that get took away from you? Oh, well, I don't know how that happened, but anyhow, you're back. Yeah, it's not like the Methodist or the Catholic, Baptist and Catholic and Methodist, I guess, are the main ones here in the United States. We also have Holiness and, what Church of God, whatever. But yeah, Southern Baptist, we're supposed to be the Bible thumpers. And I lived here where I lived for years and years was what they called the Bible Belt. It was a strip of area. So yeah, we live in what I would call lost that ranch, girl. We can't let that happen. I'm glad you got it back. Somebody got to look after me here. But yeah, I mean, we have people that are very hardcore here, and they preach to you. They walk up and down the streets, and they'll be preaching on the corner and all that kind of stuff. And then you have your modern day religions, I guess you would say. So yeah, I guess Southern Baptist would be one of the more considered stern, even though there's been a lot of jokes made about the preacher and the preacher visiting with his ladies in his church a lot. So I mean, it's every religion. There's remarks made about it. Yeah, that's right. There's so many different variations, and even from church to church, guys. I grew up in, like I say, Southern Baptist, but I also went to gone to Church of God. I've gone to the Holiness Church. I've gone to the Catholic Church. I just wanted to see what they were like, and all in all of the religions are based on, God. It may not be the same way that we are taught. Everybody interprets the Bible differently. So, would you consider yourself religious, political, concern? Yes, I would consider myself somewhat religious and also a conservative. Very much so. Yesterday I was at Walmart and had my basket with a few things in it. When I went to catch up with my cousin David, I had lost my basket. Girlfriend, you're just pulling some of my stunts there, Christy or Jovita. That sounds like something I would do. Well, good guys, it has been so much fun chatting with you guys today. just got to keep it going, guys. Y'all all come back next week and we'll figure out something more else to talk about. Hope to see you back there, Lewis. And we'll see y'all all next Monday night. Y'all take it easy, be careful, and be nice to people that may not be very nice to you. Just because people are crazy now. You just don't know what's going to happen. We had a person not 5 miles from where I live did the road rage thing and killed a man. Why? We don't have any clue why. He doesn't even know why. Just nutted it. You know how it goes, guys. So, guys, I am so glad you guys were all here. And you know my channel would not be a channel if it weren't for all of you. So, y'all come on back and we will see y'all all next week. Good night.